Take this list as a personal promise from me to you. These videos will give you the chills. After all, I have to live up to my name. Number 12. This archived 2001 video becomes even more horrific the closer you zoom in. In the bottom center you can see a poor person helplessly waving at the rescue workers down below. There is little the firefighters can do though, because the ladders are too short to reach the floor that they are stuck on. I can only imagine what is going through their minds now, being trapped with nowhere left to go. And you can barely see it, but to the right of them is a second person who is waving just as frantically. I really hope these two were lucky enough to make it to the bottom floor, but if they're trapped on the edge like this, the chances at that point are sadly very low. These videos are always hard to watch, and my heart goes out to everyone who was affected on that day. Number 11. This video was taken near the Pearl Tower in Shanghai, China. The forecast is clearly cloudy and thunder can be heard in the distance. It appears people began recording when they saw someone who appears to be levitating, or hanging off the tower. Suddenly, there's a surge of lightning and it appears this person acts as a lightning rod because he's shocked numerous times by the lightning. But the man is fine and stays suspended in mid-air. I couldn't find any additional info on the incident, so it appears we'll never know what happened to this individual beyond the recording of this video, if this video is real. Number 10. This local lake is overflowing and freezing at the same time. Now a giant mass of jagged ice is pushing past the shore. At first the freak weather is somewhat fun to play in, but as the lake continues to spill over, they realize their houses will soon be in the way of the carnage. The moving mass of ice shards crackles loudly as it continues to expand, first past their yard and then up to their front door. Within less than a minute the situation changes from amusing to desperate.
It's hitting the houses. It's crawling up the walls of the houses. Yeah. Oh my god, their door's in!
By now the ice has piled up beyond control and an entire lake's worth of frozen water threatens to push the houses from their very foundation. Within just 6 minutes, the entire landscape has switched from greenery to solid frost. I'm guessing they had to stop recording and evacuate shortly thereafter. Number 9. Randy Doss claims to live in a haunted house and offers this video evidence for proof.
I dare you to slam that door.
They start recording this video after the door opens all by itself, at which point they try to get the spirit to do something else. And with that said, the ghost seemingly takes up the challenge. Watch the crack in the door and you'll see there's absolutely nobody on the other side.
No.
Just for the record, it's only Nick and I here.
Just when the door almost slams shut, this happens.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god!
Whoa.
The obvious answer is that there is a child standing on the other side of the door, but look again. This appears to be nothing more than an empty sleeve and, more importantly, it doesn't make contact with the door at all. This makes me think that whatever forced the door open could have also rustled the nearby jacket too. Number 8. This Iraqi child is unique from her peers in many different ways because her skin and hair have no pigmentation at all. But most importantly, her eyes are pure red. The reason she squints into the camera is because her red eyes absorb all of the light instead of reflecting it. Her parents see this rare eye color as a blessing, but some see it as a curse. After all, red eyes are a nearly universal sign of possession in many cultures. Though I doubt that is the case here, some superstitious folks will no doubt be wary of her before they have a chance to better understand. Her red eyes will stay this way for the rest of her life and hopefully cause her no social stigma. Number 7.
Leo Mayo, you out here?
Spectators gaze overhead at a bizarre white light piercing the sky. Adults and children alike gather in the street with their cell phones out. None of them can figure out what is going on, much less put the situation into words. The whole ordeal almost looks like a helicopter searchlight, except that it makes no noise and does not move at all. A NASA experiment or even a portal to an alternate dimension are two more possibilities, however unlikely they may be. Whatever this is, it happened over somewhere in California in October of 2018 and has never been properly explained. Number 6. The head-spinning scene from The Exorcist is one of the most iconic horror moments in film history, and to pull it off, they had to design this horrifying life-sized dummy. Forget about Annabelle. This gruesome doll from The Exorcist is so well animated that it's often hard to tell the difference between the doll and its living counterpart. Look at this behind-the-scenes footage, for example. If you told me that this was a real person on the left, I would have absolutely believed it, especially back then. Watching him open up the doll's head and peel back layers of skin to tinker with its insides is creepy beyond all explanation. You almost expect it to spin around and bite off their fingers at any moment. The way the doll moves its eyes during this part looks so convincing that I always thought it was a real person. When you consider this movie is from 1973, you'll realize advanced these special effects were. They are so good that these scenes still gives people chills over 40 years later, and probably for the rest of time. Number 5. Sophie Darcy is a talented contortionist with a twisted sense of humor, so to speak. Here she does a crab walk backwards at top speeds with her head barely hangling above the floor. This is really creative and a genius way to scare people that I've never seen done before, but I can't help but think it's a little dangerous too. I mean, if she steps on her hair while walking like this, her neck could snap all the way back. Maybe I'm just exaggerating, but I think I see it almost happen multiple times as she races down the aisle, which adds a whole new level of fear to the overall situation. Number 4. This video was also posted on my Chills Narrator subreddit by a user named Bebors. Whenever they find themselves at this particular highway intersection, their Lexus starts beeping out of control.
Okay, this intersection, it always happens here.
These innovative car sensors are designed to alert the driver when someone is in front of the car. No one is anywhere near them, but here you can see both of the yellow arrows are lit, meaning it detects someone straight ahead. Seconds later you can see only the right arrow is on, which means that someone is now moving to the right. I just wanted to stress that this never happens at any other intersections, only this one, and according to Bebors, this event has occurred 4 times in the past 2 years alone. With this evidence in mind, this intersection could definitely be the haunting ground of someone who didn't make it across the road in one piece. Number 3. These videos were taken at the annual Global Citizen Music Festival of 2018 in New York City. Everyone is enjoying the late-night concert until a crowd of people suddenly start trying to escape and basically cause a stampede. Nobody knows what they're running from, and they won't find out until much later, but everyone is moving fast and afraid for their lives. Their voices are filled with panic and raw fear fuels their every step as they grab their friends and try to get out as fast as they can.
What the just happened?
Nobody knows what's going on. Do you know what?
I have no idea what's happening.
The situation becomes all too real when a head officer of the NYPD comes on stage and makes a brief and serious sounding announcement.
Please, everybody, stop! Remain calm. Remain calm. Try and open up the fence in the back. We're trying to get everybody to remain calm. Try and move backwards.
Try to move backwards, is all the police will say without any further explanation, which sends everybody into even more of an uproar. Those who make it out find the entrance is swarming with emergency vehicles, but still nobody knows why. As it turns out, the source of the commotion was a large steel barricade that fell over and made a loud banging noise. The bang carried throughout the venue and sounded like somebody discharging a firearm, which caused a panic. I can only imagine how stressful this must have been for everybody, especially when none of them know what is wrong at the time. Fortunately, a strong police presence was able to keep the evacuation orderly and help stop people from trampling over each other. Number 2. Not even gated security is enough to stop this complete and total stranger from prowling around people's homes in Las Vegas. Here he is caught on a doorbell cam while standing outside of someone's door in the middle of the night. You can see him momentarily freeze in place, look inside their window while in a trance-like state. It looks like he is making an important decision in his mind. He holds a blade with the tip facing outwards and then turns around. For more than 3 hours the man roams around the upscale neighborhood looking for who knows what. And if anyone stopped to question him, I have little doubt that he would have let his blade do the talking. Before we get to number 1, I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have questions or suggestions. If you'd like to see more of these videos in the future, then hit that subscribe button because I upload a new video every day. Number 1. This video was brought to my attention on the Chills Narrator subreddit by a user named Ryan Cool Vids. The baby monitor of a family in Michigan catches a transparent figure briskly walking by the crib of their sleeping daughter. Moments later, the toddler's head pokes out to see if one of their parents is in the room, but they are nowhere near. Weirdest and most frightening of all is how you can see the figure literally vanishes seconds after it walks by the crib. It crosses the room and then disappears before it gets to the doorway, almost like an emotionally charged event destined to repeat itself without end. Before we go any further, it's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. Much later, but when they did, they would never forget what was heading straight towards them in that room. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video